Hi bowl bakers! Trifles are not only an incredible looking dessert, but they're really easy to make too. This chocolate and raspberry trifle is layer upon layer of chocolate decadence that is sure to knock your socks off. So let's get started. I absolutely love trifle for a very simple reason. All of the different textures and flavors. We've got fudge brownie, chocolate mousse, cream, and raspberries. Those flavors complement each other really well, and it's what makes this dessert so special. So my brownie recipe that I've been using for years is aptly called Best Ever Brownie Recipe. And if you're wondering why I call it that, then boom, check that out. Fudgy, decadent chocolate. It is absolutely, out of all my years of working as a pastry chef, the best recipe I've ever come across. Now we've made this before in a previous video for brownie layer cake, and the recipe is already on my website. So the brownies are the first layer of our trifle, and our second layer is an easy chocolate mousse. And I say easy because it does not contain eggs or gelatin. It's whipped up with cream cheese and cream, and you still get a lovely, light but decadent mousse at the end. What will really make your chocolate mousse stand out is good quality chocolate. I like to use 72% cocoa solids. However, if you go down as low as 60, that is totally fine. But you want something that's got nice, rich, almost like a bitter flavor to it. It works really, really well. I'm going to pop this in the microwave, or you can push it over a pot of water and melt it gently. Once your chocolate is melted, go ahead and set it aside because we don't want to use it until it's cooled down. Next, we're going to start out in a large bowl. And we're going to add in some cream cheese. With a hand mixer, or you can also use a stand mixer, we're going to whip this up until there's no more lumps. Now you can do this step by hand, it just takes a lot of elbow grease. There you go. Now this just takes a few minutes, but all you're trying to do is just loosen and lighten up the cream cheese. Into this, we're going to add in some vanilla extract. Then also I'm going to add in a pinch of salt. Now salt often gets forgotten about in baking, and it actually complements chocolate really, really well, brings out all of those lovely flavors. So make sure you just add a little pinch in there. And then we're going to add in some cream. Now people always ask me what cream do I use, and honestly, no matter what country you're in, whatever cream whips well in your country, then use that. So now we're going to go back in with our beaters, and we're going to whip it up again really well until it becomes nice and light and fluffy. And there you go. As you can see, it's totally thickened up. It's nice and creamy. Now to this mix, we're going to add in our cooled chocolate. So for our chocolate, you want to make sure that this is nice and cool because you want it to be the same temperature as the cream cheese, otherwise it'll set in that mix. So now what we're going to do, and we've done this before, is take a little bit of our cream cheese mix, add it into your chocolate, and then just mix it around in there really fast. Now what this is called is introducing. What you want to do is introduce one ingredient into another so they are similar textures. So then you can easily incorporate the chocolate mix now into the cream and cream cheese mix. Now you want to do this quite swiftly because you don't want the chocolate to set. So in we go. And then with a spatula, just go ahead and fold it in to your mix. Keep on mixing in quite quickly until all of your chocolate is incorporated. And there you go. Easy, quick chocolate mousse and delicious chocolate mousse. Oh, that's so yummy. You can taste a little bit of salt and vanilla. That's yummy, yummy, yummy. Okie dokie. I'm going to set this aside and we're going to whip up our cream. So the next layer of our trifle is whipped cream. So how to whip cream correctly is probably one of the biggest questions I get on Bigger Bolder Baking. That's why I'm going to show you now really quickly. But if you have any requests for other bold baking basics, let me know in the comments below and I'll put them all together in a video. So my number one tip for whipping cream is use cold cream. The colder it is, the better it will whip. Now I'm using a hand mixer to whip my cream, but you can also do it by hand. It just will take you a little bit longer. So when I whip cream, I never add anything to it. No sugar, no vanilla, because I want it to be pure and creamy, because that creamy texture and flavor will cut the sugar in the other ingredients. Okay, perfect. This is nice and lightly whipped cream, which is exactly the texture I want for my trifle. So now we have our cream, we have our brownies, we have our mousse. Now it's time to bring them all together. So for my trifle, I have a lovely trifle dish, but if you don't have one, you can always use just a clear glass bowl. You just want to make sure that you're able to see all of those lovely layers. I'm going to start by laying small cubes of brownie all around the bottom of the dish. Perfect. And then just pack them all in there, all the fudgy bits facing out so people can see. On top of our brownies, we're going to add a thick layer of chocolate mousse. On top of the chocolate mousse, we're going to add some lovely fresh raspberries. Just dot them all over. Follow your raspberries with your freshly whipped cream. Don't be shy with the whipped cream because it's one of my favorite layers. And then just with the back of a spoon, smooth it all around. Now we're just going to repeat the same layers over again. Tons of brownie, your rich chocolate mousse, lots of fresh raspberries, and then heaps of whipped cream. I'm adding some chocolate curls on top, which I think are the icing on the cake. And here is our chocolate and raspberry trifle. Look at that amazing decadent dessert. Fudgy brownie and cream, rich chocolate mousse, all of these amazing layers together make a very big and bold dessert. Oh my gosh. Honestly, if this was the last dessert I ever ate, I would die a happy woman. It is incredible. It's so fudgy and decadent and rich. All of the qualities I love in a big and bold dessert. For more big and bold brownie desserts, then make sure you check out my playlist. As always, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you back here next Thursday for more bigger, bolder baking. This is one of those desserts that you eat that you feel like you get pains in your chest, but in the good kind of a way.